Christmas night was always my favorite time of the year. The house glowed with soft golden lights, the fireplace crackled, and the faint hum of carols played in the background. My family, Mom, Dad, and my younger brother Ben, had retreated to their rooms, leaving me alone in the living room, soaking in the warmth of the season. We lived in a house perched on the edge of the woods, far from the town's bustling lights. It felt safe, almost too safe, like the world outside couldn't touch us. But that night something felt wrong. It started with a dream. At least I thought it was a dream. I saw a figure standing at the edge of the woods, silhouetted by the moonlight. They weren't moving, just watching the house. A chill crept up my spine as I tried to scream, but no sound came out. Then, in an instant, the figure was gone, and I woke up gasping for air. Shaking off the nightmare, I glanced at the clock. 2:33 a.m. The house was silent except for the faint whistle of the wind outside. I was about to drift back to sleep when I heard it. A faint knock at the window. My heart leapt into my throat. Who would be outside at this hour? I tiptoed to the window and peeked through the curtain. At first I saw nothing but the dark expanse of the backyard. But then, a shape moved near the tree line. It was the figure from my dream, standing still, facing the house. They were closer now, their features obscured in shadow. I blinked, and they were gone. Convinced my mind was playing tricks on me, I tried to calm down. But then the sound of footsteps echoed from the back porch. Slow, deliberate. I grabbed my phone and crept to the kitchen where I could see the back door. The footsteps stopped just as I reached the corner, and I saw the handle jiggle. Fear rooted me in place. My mind raced with possibilities. Was it someone lost? Or something worse? I typed out a message to my dad but hesitated to send it. What if it was nothing? I didn't want to ruin Christmas over my paranoia. Before I could decide, the door creaked open. I froze as a figure stepped inside, tall and shrouded in darkness. They moved slowly, their head turning as if scanning the room. I couldn't see their face, but the air around them felt heavy, suffocating. Suddenly Ben's voice rang out from upstairs. "Who's there?" The figure snapped their head toward the sound and bolted back through the door, disappearing into the night. I rushed to the porch and saw footprints in the snow leading to the woods. But as I followed them with my eyes, they abruptly stopped halfway, as if the intruder had vanished into thin air. The police found no sign of forced entry or anyone in the area. My parents dismissed it as a prank, but I knew better. That night I lay awake, replaying the events in my head, haunted by the lingering question, was it a person or something else? The warmth of Christmas Eve filled our home, the kind of warmth that wrapped you in safety. My family had gathered, as always, filling the house with laughter, the scent of roasted turkey, and the twinkle of lights on the tree. It was a night like any other, or so I thought. "Can you grab the extra string lights from the basement?" Mom asked me casually. I was 13, too old to admit that the basement unsettled me, but it always had. The single bulb hanging from the ceiling barely cut through the darkness, and the damp smell of concrete and old boxes made it feel like another world. I hesitated but nodded. With a flashlight in hand, I descended the creaky wooden stairs. The air grew colder, and the hum of the furnace was the only sound accompanying me. I scanned the shelves for the box of lights when my flashlight caught something, a lump in the corner, under an old blanket. It wasn't unusual for random stuff to pile up in the basement, but something about this lump felt off. It was too symmetrical, too deliberate. My heart pounded as I stepped closer. I told myself it was nothing, just a chair or a stack of old clothes. Then it moved. I froze, my breath hitching. The blanket shifted ever so slightly, as if whatever was beneath it had just exhaled. I wanted to scream, but fear clamped my throat shut. I backed away slowly, my flashlight trembling in my hand. That's when the basement light flickered and went out, plunging me into darkness. Panic surged through me as I fumbled to turn the flashlight back on. It flickered weakly, casting erratic beams across the room. The lump under the blanket was gone. The corner was empty. Something brushed past me, a cold, fleeting touch against my arm. I spun around, but there was nothing there. My instinct screamed at me to run, but before I could move, I was yanked backward. An arm wrapped around my neck, pulling me into a crushing grip. The flashlight clattered to the ground, its beam rolling across the floor, catching glimpses of a figure. A man, pale and gaunt, his face inches from mine. He smelled of dirt and decay, his breath hot against my ear as he whispered something I couldn't understand. I thrashed, kicking and clawing, but his grip only tightened. My vision blurred, the edges darkening as I felt myself slipping away. Then voices from above, my family calling my name. The man hissed, releasing me suddenly. I fell to the floor, gasping for air, my vision clearing just in time to see him dart into the shadows. Moments later, my dad burst down the stairs, followed by my uncle. They searched every inch of the basement, but the man was gone. The police arrived shortly after, but they found no signs of forced entry. My family tried to reassure me that it was a fluke, maybe a drifter who had sneaked in and hidden. But I knew better. He hadn't just been hiding. He had been waiting. Even now, years later, I can't go near basements. The memory of his cold grip and the darkness of that corner still haunt me. The safety of home was shattered that night, and I've never felt truly safe again.